We are sharefluencers. We will share it
Yeah,
all.
there you
Share
go.
influencers. That's a nice one.
So what are 5 tips if someone were asking you,
Right?
like, how do I get into this? What do you think would be the 5 top tips?
Okay, first and foremost, if you're going to treat this like a career, treat this like a career and get on LinkedIn. Think about all your skill sets beforehand and what you did before. For instance, myself, I didn't realize I was going to become an influencer. I thought I was going to get in the cannabis industry doing events where women did not have alcohol served. It was going to be like brunches and CBD brunches and all these things that were going to be like tied into yoga and what everything that you guys already see now. Okay, so this was like the original idea. So I was going to apply my skill sets of being an event planner to becoming an event planner in the cannabis industry. Now, you don't have to do that. You can go in there blindly and try something completely new, but I highly recommend that you try and find skill sets that you're already strong with and take those skill sets and apply them into the cannabis industry. That is my number one thing. And by doing that and putting it on LinkedIn and share that you are actively looking for a job by putting that green frame around your icon, people will know that you are pursuing a job in cannabis. You'd be surprised how many people hit me up in LinkedIn. I don't even need work right now, and people are still asking for work from me. So seriously, consider there is an abundance of work out there. Start at LinkedIn because at least you can always go back to that. With LinkedIn, you don't need a website just yet. With LinkedIn, you don't need a YouTube just yet. You have to have the Instagram. I highly suggest that. But then if you have the Instagram and the LinkedIn, that way you have your business and your fun, and that thing is consistently there. Instagram can go away in a second, and technically LinkedIn could too, but the chances of LinkedIn going anywhere anytime soon are not going to happen. So make sure you have a stable presence on LinkedIn if you truly want a business presence in this industry. You'd be surprised on how much that is used, and no one talks about it. No one talks about it except for the professionals, you know?
Yeah.
And so having those talking points always helps because it tells people not only that you know what you're talking about, even if you don't know what you're talking about, it's a great way to fake it. Second of all, I mean, don't like talk about things you don't not talk about, but you know what I mean. When you're feeling that imposter syndrome, the imposter syndrome, it's a great way to fake the imposter syndrome, Maddie. So you get those talking points, and then it also keeps you consistent. So you go on Clubhouse one day and you're on a talk, and then they see you in a live a couple weeks later, and you're still talking those talking points. George Takai says he has one story that he has shared his entire life, and he's shared it in thousands of different ways and thousands of different platforms, but it's his story every single time. No one's ever gotten sick of it. No one's ever told him to stop it. He has always shared that story. So figure out what your story is, and whatever your story is, share it all the time. I have overcome my drug and alcohol and food abuse with cannabis, and I will talk about that till the cows come home. And I'm a huge advocate for uh, replacing your prescription drug abuse and your alcohol abuse with cannabis. And so I'm also a big advocate for women getting into the cannabis industry. All those things come into play in those conversations. So what are you passionate about? What are you good at? How does that apply to you, and how you can help others? And then number 4, I suggest just make sure that you do something that shares your knowledge. So whether you create a freebie that's a graphic or a PDF, on your whatever your knowledge is. Let's say if you're into chakras, for instance, you're into energy healing. You can talk about top cannabis strains per chakra. Let's say you do, each strain has 3, or each chakra has 3 strains that it's good to unlock or good for healing, and you just list that. That's a PDF. Not only does that PDF qualify you as a source in the industry, but it shows that you can create things. And so when brands are looking to work with you, they think, oh, she's really into crystals, so that more esoteric brands will come towards you. Possibly you want to kind of lure the people to you, but what kind of home do you want to build? So consider what you like. Otherwise, you're going to attract the wrong products. You're going to attract the wrong things. You're going to attract all the things that you don't want to promote. And it's all about focusing on what you do want to promote, what you already are good at, what you already are doing on a daily basis. As you mentioned earlier, you were already making those flat lays. How can you take that and apply it into the cannabis industry? If you are a dance instructor, how can you apply that into the cannabis industry? Like every day you're going to do a dance video and you're going to talk about the products that you use, and you're going to tag the brands, and you're going to keep going from there. So there's so many different ways that you can take skill sets and apply it. And then last but not least, you do not need to post post every day, but you do need to show up consistently to social media. Even if that consistency means once a week, as long as your followers and your community understand that once a week they are going to get something badass from you. Either way, you find out what your flow is. If your flow is 5 days a week, then you post 5 days a week. Just make sure that you don't get burnt out, because there's nothing worse that will drive you further from this industry than being burnt out. It is not the cannabis industry itself. It is our own doing by us taking on too much fucking work and saying yes to too many things. So that is my 5th tip. The lack of boundaries. Create those boundaries now, right now, before you get started in the industry. Decide, are you going to post on the weekends? Because if you're not, don't fucking start, because you will continue to do so. And then all of a sudden your 6 days a week becomes 7 days a week. And you're gonna be like, oh, but it's self-care Sunday, I got to post something. Oh, but it's this and I did this. Save it for Monday. No one is going to know the difference. Save it for your sanity. Give yourself some rest. You will appreciate this industry so much more. So just to go back to what we were all talking about, make sure you apply your skill sets, consider who you can help, put yourself out there, get on LinkedIn, be consistent to your consistency, nobody else's, and make sure that you are authentically yourself. People can tell when you're not being yourself. The brands that and the people I've seen come and go, I knew they were not going to last long. I've never said those things out loud, but deep down you can smell the inauthenticity from a mile away. And when they don't show up the following year, you're not surprised, because if you can't even be yourself, who are you going to be the following year?
Exactly.
Who are you going to be when they make rules change? When the rules change and all of a sudden they're making us do reels every week to survive. So as long as you are yourself, everything else is going to fall into place.
I have a little tip to piggyback off of what you were saying. What I like to do, because I really do promote mental health and just wellness and not burnout, not having to post. If you want to be that person to post 5 days a week, go ahead, but you won't be able to have any longevity with that, especially in the beginning, because you're not going to be getting paid anything. So for me, I needed to do batch content. And the Bay Wolf, I don't know if you know about Wolfpack.
Wolfpack, yes.
Yeah, Bailey is awesome. She really shares some really great tips. She, I think, suggested to like a year and a half ago, she had suggested just to everyone, like, batch content, stop killing yourselves. And I was like, okay, Bailey. And then I started doing it. And I mean, like, you spend all day taking pictures, you spend all day planning it out beforehand, you spend all day setting it all up beforehand. Like, you get it all set up and ready to go, and then you get it all done, and then you edit it, and then you can send it out whenever you want, full send ahead. And that's how I really can avoid burnout, is trying to get at least 3 to 5 different scenes created to be able to share 2 to 4 pictures a week, or get a couple videos up, or get a couple reels batched. And creating that content is a good way to be able to ensure longevity and also not kill yourself in the end, because like, there's no point in
burning out.
Yeah. Like, I do not promote capitalism. I'm not going to promote that shit here. And I'm not going to promote it trying to like kill yourself, overworking yourself.
Wondering like, okay, this is great, but like, I still don't know where to start. Autumn, it's coming. It's, I just saw the cover last week. It's the most exciting thing on the planet. They're working hard on doing the video part now, because we're going to have an audio and a visual, one that's visual as well, in addition to the PDF, so that you have something that's tangible. Or if you, those of you that like to listen, I also read it off as well. So we're doing the audio right now. This is going to be a huge tool. Marie Forleo says, create something that's a Trojan horse in your career. And I started my career with that right away. This is a guide to growing your brand on social media, but what it actually is a mindfulness tool on how to not lose your mind in this industry, how to stay afloat, how to stay in your lane, how to stay above it all, and how to make sure that you are giving yourself and your community the best that you can every step of the way. It is from start to finish a wellness book beyond what it is of what I'm saying today and what we will talk about, in the weeks to come. So please consider signing up, you guys, on tokativity.com/themommyjane. It is going to be it's going to be such a great thing. And brands are so excited because they know I'm making this, and they are going to be hiring the women and men that buy this guide, because they want to have this well-trained, mindful group of people coming into this cannabis industry with the right intentions, with the right values, with the right mission, so that they don't go astray, so that you're not hiring the wrong people. Because, money is money. Money is value. It's all energy. We all want to put in the right type of energy. We all want to get paid for our work, but you also want to be the right person for the job. And this is a great tool that you will be able to find out what brands are meant for you and what brands are not meant for you, because you do not want to put your energy into things that are not meant for you either. And I cannot express this enough. If I can give one last piece of advice today, trust your gut, trust your gut, trust your gut. If you feel like something is not right, if something sounds too good to be true, chances are it probably is. I've been here 5 years come August 27th. Okay. I have lived and I've learned and I've ignored a lot of red flags. I have been burned to the point where I've almost left this industry. Do not make the mistakes that I have had made. Please do not make those mistakes. Follow your heart always.
Plug your socials.
I have a website. I'm working on, my goal next year will be to zhuzh my website, because that's one thing I never got a chance to, because this is why this book is so important for me to get out there as quickly as possible, because I started not realizing that there was an end goal. I came in here blindly, and I don't want anybody coming in blindly and getting the carpet pulled out from underneath them like the way I feel. I'm doing this stuff 5 years later when I should have been doing this 5 months before I started, you know? And I'm not trying to scare anybody. And if you've already started, I'm not saying just give up now. You can rebrand at any time.
You can rebrand, revamp, rechange, judge
a million times. Yeah. So just realize that there's no better time than now, but don't be discouraged. This industry is not going anywhere. We are only getting started, and it's just going to be amazing. And I'm just so grateful to have the opportunity to speak with all of you today and be getting to the ears to those that need it. So it's been an honor.
Thank you. I feel the same way. Like, I watch your lives and I, talk with you sometimes, and like the pot smoking moms have talked with you. And so I'm happy that you came. I'm happy that you're here. I'm sorry that I was sick last week. And like, I'm just really happy we finally got this. And I really value the information you put out. You take a lot of time to make sure that you're putting out good information for us, and you're doing it for free. You're doing these lives for free. Like, no one's paying you to tell us and help us and keep these stories up. And I know that you've had shadow ban issues and censorship problems. And I know that you're fighting in the trenches with us, even though you may have a couple thousand followers more than everyone else. You're still the same as us, still trying to put that content out and create that space for women in cannabis and mental health in cannabis. And I think you're awesome. I'm fangirling, just like when we met the Jane West. Yeah, like, I all of you guys are the pioneers for us. You are the ones that created these avenues that I can now feel comfortable to go down. It's because of the women and folks like you. Thank you.
The OG.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Likewise. Listen, I have my fangirl moments too with all of you. When I meet these people in person, it's like, come on. It's our dreams come to life. Just make that plot to yourself right now. You're listening to this episode. Make that plot. 2022 is going to be your coming out party. You have the next less than 6 months to kind of plot out what you want, write that mission statement, think about who look at those, we're going to use the term influencer. Look at the influencers that you like already, or the celebrities that you like already, or the accounts that you like already. Yeah. What do you like about their accounts? Start brainstorming the cool things about them. I really like how she comes on without makeup every day, or I really like that she's always wearing sweats, or I really love that she's done up all the time. I'm going to be done up all the time. Whatever it is, find your flow, and that's going to be your calling card. And let it be whatever it is. Women have made their made bathrobes famous, wigs famous, bathing suits famous. You can be doing your own thing. So whatever it is, wave your freak flag, and I can't wait to see you in 2022. And listen, I can't say yes to everybody. I say no a lot. So who are those brands going to go to? We need more people.
We do need more people. There is space for everyone. I promise. We're not a competitive bunch. We are trying to uplift everyone, because the more jobs that are available for us, the more brands get more money, and then they want to pay us more. And it's like the trickle down actually will work in that regard.
Can I say one thing? Be mindful of how much free work you do, you guys, because the reason why some people don't get paid in this industry is because a lot of people still say yes to free work. And that's the problem here. I will do things on concessions sometimes thinking, okay, usually if it's a small business, I will obviously work with people. Usually if it's moms, usually, especially if it's women of color, those are the concessions I will make. But other than that, these are big brands and stuff. And we keep saying, oh, okay, well, this big brand doesn't have a budget. So then let's just keep going. They're going to keep on going to the next person and the next person, and they're going to milk us all dry. We are not a free market. This is not a free market. This is crazy. I'm not about capitalism, but I'm about getting what's worth is what's yours. Okay. Time is energy. Everybody has enough to go around. If they don't believe in their product enough to pay you, then you don't believe in their product either. Okay.
Thank you.
That's a really great point. Yeah, good point.
Thank you so much
Okay.
for joining us today.
I'll get off my
Maybe
soapbox
we'll be
now.
able to talk to you again in the future.
Oh yeah, we should definitely
Yeah.
do this again and talk about women in the cannabis area, because I would like to have the Jane West on for that too.
Do a whole
yeah,
all four of us.
Yeah. I love her. She's
The fact that my name has been mentioned in the same sentence as Jane West today, I'm like gonna go to sleep like this tonight.
Well, we will definitely keep you in the loop for the future and plan something soon to get all of us together. So
yes.
thank you again for
Sounds
today.
great, Jackie.
All
Thank you
right.
so
Well,
much.
I will talk to you later.